Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to our end of days, and that's DAZE. As usual, just recording one continuous stream, just like life. So if there's interruptions, there's interruptions. Should be okay. It's fairly late, getting close to closing time where I'm at, and so probably shouldn't have any interruptions. But just in case, I wanted to try to keep rolling if I can. Just wanted to record. I'm gonna do my best to maybe make a quick, what is it called, a short for where one of my sleeping locations because I am homeless, and it's it's part of my journey, you guys. It's part of something to show everybody, and it's inspiration, which might sound weird at the moment, but it just truly feels like we're like a it's hard to say, guys, where it's just like from an outside perspective, it's going to seem weird. All right, and I get that. But it's just like we are powerful creators. All right, because we have the creative spirit of God within us. And so much of me being here in this moment was to help me heal, was to get in touch and to see how things are like in general. I mean, definitely on Earth, in this particular location, in the state, but also more than that too. And it was to really get me like just in touch, you guys, just in touch. I've yeah, there's too much to share in like a video and everything, and so many things are going on, you guys. Just like I'm pretty tired, I'm like I work pretty hard. I walked definitely like 4 or 5 miles carrying maybe 20-25 pounds, which isn't that much, but it's a lot on top of everything else. It's being homeless, it's the emotional stuff, learning a new skill. um, I don't think I can show it, but it's just I hinted at it and I showed a little bit, but it's just my twirling stick, man. And I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm not gonna wave it around a bunch right here because I might whack something. Not my intention to break anything. So this might just be a quick update. I did end up going to a church today, and I know on my last short I hinted at my next video talking about the dark side of Christianity, and part of it is I know we might what is it called, confirmation bias, so I'm not so take everything I say with a grain of salt, right? Run it through your own discernment, your god-given discernment. If it resonates with you, wonderful. If it doesn't, leave it behind. Watch other videos, or listen to other stuff that I make or whatever, um, but it really it showed me just what it was confirmation for me, because I've been in this weird place where it's like I feel like Christianity is demonic in a lot of different ways. And then the demonic side of things, the occult, like super dark side of things, is almost cartoonishly dark. It's this weird paradigm that I've felt and I've seen that it's like the idol, as I've called it. This devil energy is in both pools. All right, it's in the quote unquote light pool, and then it's also in the dark pool. All right, and so you know, okay, how do I as an individual navigate this particular situation? Especially when I'm in an environment which is like hugely predominantly Christian. All right. And I would also phrase things in a particular way too, because I would say I've encountered darker groups, darker individuals who are very have like this rebellious energy, I guess. But at the same time, it's either consciously or subconsciously propping up that same dynamic. of Christianity. And so there is this split in Christianity, which is like the light side and the dark side, which are both false paradigms that I see, all right, that have half truths hidden within them. And my interpretation, like I say, there's stories and everything, right? And so the way that I've seen it is it has been this split of the masculine and the feminine. And so rather than have them unified, supporting each other, loving each other, we have created this split. All right. And I do say we, even if we didn't originate it, if it was some other thought or someone else's external thing that programmed it into us, we accepted it. And that's the key factor. This is what I mean by claiming responsibility. Even for our bloodline, even for generational trauma, even for what happened with us growing up through our parents, all right, and then their parents and their parents and their parents. Claiming responsibility for it is claiming responsibility for what's internally within our system. And the true Christianity, all right, what I feel like Christ was truly teaching us through forgiveness was to release these patterns, all right? And in that process, the masculine and the feminine are unified. They're not at odds with each other. And this is where our power is. This is where communion with God is. And this is why I don't like the religion of Christianity. And if Christ was here today, I almost guarantee he would, say, "What have you guys done? What have what have you guys done? Like you have taken what I have said and you've made me an idol." All right, like I really feel like Christ would be saying that. All right, and I know I'm not the only one. All right, this is one of those key factors, one of those things where it just seems like through the world this time has come. And the way that I see the second coming is it is through the body of Christ. And this body of Christ is us. All right, it's us as individuals. It's us with this pure heart, with pure intentions to know God and to truly know God. All right, not just what we're told, not what we're programmed. And in the process of getting to know God, we get to know ourselves. And that this is they I don't want to say that it's not like they feed off of each other, but they point to each other. All right. In a different video, what I said was we don't need to. And remember, anything that I say, even we or how things are, this is my perspective. Okay, this is my, dare I say, opinion. All right, but this is just, I'm sharing my views. I'm sharing my opinion. If it jives with you, if it resonates, if it awakens something within you, wonderful. All right, go ahead. It's ours then. All right. If it is doesn't, you don't like it, like I said before, change the channel. Don't watch me. All right. Because seriously, even if you're hate watching, or there's the cross watchers, who are looking to dig dirt on me, steal something, connive me in some weird shape or form, it's just giving me power. All right, and it's given this movement and this cause power. So, do what you will. All right, I will too. All right, that's just how things go. It's, how things work. All right. But if you truly don't like it, yeah, I would say just don't watch it. All right, there's plenty online you can watch if it doesn't jive with you. Like I said, so yeah, maybe we'll try to keep it under 10 minutes there. Just a kind of a quick update. I wanted to see how things work, in this environment. It's usually pretty windy outside. I was thinking of making a night video. And I was able to make one time before, and it seemed okay, but it was in a fairly well-lit area. And, I just got to get over my stage fright, my fear of being seen, like, especially directly recording and whatnot. A few of my sleeping locations are kind of in the public eye. Some of them are very private, too. The more private, remote locations are, not gonna lie, very, very mosquito infested. And so, My only protection that I have at the moment is just like bundling up. All right, and it looks like I'm going into winter or something, and it's not that. It's pretty warm here. All right, I'm just telling you guys, it's pretty darn warm here. But that protection from mosquitoes, ooh, it makes the sleep livable. All right, because they will eat you alive, man. The little bloodsuckers. All right, and that's a metaphor too. Um, just because of these energies, these idle energies, these devil energies, they will suck us dry if we're not protected. All right. And, if you happen to be walking through that area, sleeping in that area, like I have to, protect yourself. Okay. Through your thoughts, through your prayers, through this. For me, praying unceasingly is just being connected, having this communion with God, all right, the true God. And in doing so, it grants us protection. It grants us this field that repels, all right, this negative evil energy, you know. And I'll go into more, it's just I'm getting so much, you guys. In the circles that I tend to watch run in, because everything is so varied. All right, um, we call them downloads. All right, because just what else do you call it? When you get like communications from the angels. All right, when you get communications from past loved ones, from the ancestors, who have ascended to heaven. All right, who are there. It is. It's not like we're not able to communicate with them. It's not like they're unable to communicate with us. They're it's like I'm not apologizing. It's just I'm explaining. And I don't even have to explain. So I feel them here with me. They're here with me right now, and like confirmation beep. I don't know if you could hear that. It's just these as time progresses and more of our gifts come online. All right, like just I'm using language here. All right, you got to work with me. Um, these are just natural gifts. All right, like this is what Jesus meant. All right, when he said, paraphrasing here, right? The works I do, you shall do in greater. All right, this is what it means to walk with Jesus. All right, it is to claim responsibility for what's ours and to claim ourselves as children of God. And in doing so, we are able to freely channel this energy. And this energy is us. All right. We're not separate from this energy. Um, and this doesn't mean that we are like this egotistical, you know, uh, God in that way. Okay. Like I do my best to try to come up with language, but I feel like a lot of this has been intentional too. To I'm going to mispronounce it, but like obfuscate, to hide, to make things blurry when it comes to this, because like it's it's hard to explain, you guys. I see things how I deal, and it's like a lot of the quote unquote elite circles, which run on a different kind of a thought pattern, aren't wrong, but they certainly aren't right. And they have ended up, what I see at least, seeding this kind of world religion where its portions are right but not wrong. I mean, reverse that. They're it's like the lie is more convincing when there's truth in there. If it was a complete lie, people would just reject it because we are these divine creatures. Okay, we are this divine expression of the divine. All right, um, that is what has been taken out, and to call humanity parasites, viruses, is such a slap in the face of God. All right, and it's demeaning ourselves. It's demeaning God. And that thought patterns, those believing and seeding those kind of things will yield certain results in one's individual life, which then affects the collective as well. And so, yeah, we're getting on 15 minutes here, right? Almost exact, right? So maybe we should keep it at there, because I could go on and on. I'll try to give a more in-depth update tomorrow. I'm still going to try to make a little short, show you my little sleeping place. I'm going to set it up first, just so you kind of see. And yeah, you guys, thanks for being with me. I'm going to keep you updated, keep making videos. There's just so much I want to share. And it goes over so many different things. Like, I've really been a hermit, and I've spent my entire life like focused with the intent to know God. All right, and I'm far enough along to also understand that there's an air of mystery to God as well, and that's part of knowing God. All right, like, and this is what I mean when I talk about the masculine and the feminine. Okay, because especially on the feminine, like, the masculine side wants to know things, is usually more technical, logical, building. You don't want these unknowns when it comes to building something. You're like, oh no, here's the plan, here's the blueprint, you're going to build this is the way we're going to do it, and it's firm, it's structured, it's good. Feminine, very different. Feminine's very different. All right, that energy is very different. Attempting to force the feminine into that kind of paradigm isn't going to work like that. All right, the feminine is like a river that just flows. All right, and what I have seen in the world, all right, if I'm going to say this, is an overall denying of the feminine energy, attempting to control it, and that is not the same as giving the feminine energy structure, which the feminine energy wants. All right, so it's like, so there's this healthy marriage between these forces. All right, and to me, this is what Christianity is really truly intended for. All right, and I might be hijacking traditional organized Christian religion, in which case I'm okay with that. And again, if this triggers you too much, or you feel like this isn't your cup of tea, doesn't jive with you, okay, there's other channels out there. Okay, I mean that. But my intent is pure. All right, I love God. All right, and when I talk about story and I take the story of Christianity, it can be so healing. It can bring us closer to God, and it can awaken us. And it's also a process that there's a reason why certain books in the Christian Bible were taken out, right? And it wasn't because, well, just I know it's to challenge what we have seen as authority. All right, and by challenge authority, what I really mean is the internal authority. We don't have to challenge outside authority at all, if you ask me, because it's not about that. It's never been about that. This is always about internal authority. And I'll explain more later. Oh my gosh, I tend to go on and on. It's just one thing after another after another. There's just so many things come through. So just my love. I want my love to show, even if it doesn't. It's there. It's there anyway. And yeah, guys, we're doing it the way that I see it. We're doing it. If you're finding my videos now, especially, me flying by the seat of my pants, the way I see it is that there's like way showers, and I can try to deny it, but I can't. I'm one of them. It just kind of is what it is. And it's not it's and it seems like I'm denying it too when it's like that, but it's just like we are who we are, you guys. We're at where we're at, and if I'm an icebreaker, or I'm in front making a path for the people behind me, it's because I'm designed for that. All right, it's not an ego thing. It's not like, hey, look at me, I'm an icebreaker. and at least from my opinion, people who are more of the look at me kind of energy, it's a little cringe, and so if I'm cringe, whatever. I like watching my material, okay, um, and material that's like this. All right, I love the authentic stuff. I love the more or less unscripted stuff. The more scripted stuff I like. I end up listening and watching a lot of YouTube over the day, listening to a lot because I'm on the walk a lot, and 2020 there, and yeah, guys, just the authentic stuff just shines through for me. I feel like it's so much. It's what the world wants. It's what the world needs. It's giving us all permission to be authentic. You know, so if I'm stumbling over my words, I hope it's at least entertaining. And everything. Um, and giving you permission to be yourself. All right, that would be my biggest thing to take away from anything that I'm saying. I know I'm sharing different perspectives, but they're mine. I have them. All right, and so maybe in the past I would have been burned at the stake or judged or anything, and maybe it's because I would have judged myself. Maybe it's because I would have been in a different frame of mind and I would have allowed that kind of a thing to happen, which totally recontextualizes the Christian story as well. So yeah, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. All right, 20 minutes, 21, 20. Okay, we're just going on. So how many times am I going to say that, right? But yeah, we're good, guys. We're good. Love you. Thank you for being part of my journeys. I'm part of yours. Thanks for this experimental filming here. And so far so good. We'll see if we get to do more here, and definitely more. I'm gonna do what I can to make as many videos a day as I possibly can, but we'll see. At least one a day. Um, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. All right, I'm glad you watched this for however long you did. You made it to the end, right? So yeah, thank you. God bless. And yeah, peace out. Love within. I'll catch you on the flip side.